drama. Like you supposed to be my mama. And you supposed to be my sister. And you supposed to be my brother. Loving one another, I thought, but nowadays I'm caught deep in thought. Cause things don't act like they are. Take me back, Lord, to the first. When family reunion was on Sunday at the church. The things seem strange instead of familiar. Instead of other fire, saints want to kill you. See you dying, and I'm crying out for those who knows how the spirit of God flows. With love, agape, and I pray that we will unite and form a holy posse and do this thing for the newborn king, giving hope to the meek through the joy he brings.
Good deal. Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real? We are Jesus Christ on the cross. What's the deal? Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real? Let's put our faith together and show this world the church.
Okay, just get along, maybe not in the world cause it's wicked and wrong, but in Christ we have life, so let's live it. Freely we've been given it, so freely let's give it. Assurance this nation, while they behold the peace in the midst of our congregation. All in together now, singing, bringing hope with the devil on the rope, tag teaming, steaming with the spirit that be burning our bones, praying that he never ever leaves us alone. So stop sinning, stop tripping, put on the whole armor of God and get thoroughly equipped and flip the script and renew, stay true, cause under the clear blue there ain't nothing new. Word doers do. How's about you on the real? Tell me what's the deal?
Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real when we are hugging out Jesus Christ on the body of the stone? What's the deal? Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real? Let's put our faith together and show this world a church.
So while you're out there wondering if God's gonna do what he's already doing, cause he already knew. One day you were gonna be his child, and one day you were gonna see these trials. So it's best to be safe and stay in God's grace, not walking by sight, keep walking by faith. Not being stressed when the world try to press. Just keep in mind, yo, it's only a test. How do we look? Preaching the good book. When things start shaking, we the ones shook. When the heat start baking, we the ones cook. I never seen the righteous begging bread over sook. I'd rather be hot, mean, blind, lame, standing before God without blame, than having my whole body casting the hell's fire from following the world, seeking those evil desires. Nah.
Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real when we are hugging out Jesus Christ on the body of the soul? What's the deal? Tell me why is it so hard to keep it real? Let's put our faith together and show this world a church.
All right. All right. Truly, 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 the real you loves you because the real you is All right, and welcome everyone to tonight's episode of Truly Live with your co-hosts and co-founders, Oliver and Yaulanda. And sitting here right in the midst of us is our good friend. Oh, no, we're good. We're good. Our good friend and fellow coach from the country of Belize, our brother and friend, Wayne Moody, is in the house with us in studio tonight. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
So, how about giving us a thumbs up to let us know that you can hear us, you can see us, also that you can hear Wayne. So Wayne, will you say something so we can make sure that your mic is working?
I have been grateful to be here. It is my joy and pleasure to be in this space. This is an amazing space, and it's going to be just for something great to see.
All right. Well, we've heard it, and I can get no green light on you, Lonnie. Let me hear you say something.
Hello. I see that some of our patrons are already in, and they are saying, great to see and hear from Wayne again, and hope all is well with him. That's from our dear friends and patrons in Indiana, Bob and Carol.
Hello, Bob and Carol.
Yeah, Sue says hello as well.
Can you hear me?
And Wayne's mic is very weak, hard to hear.
All right, put it to your mouth and say something.
Can you hear me now?
And you can come up on Yaulanda as well. And see you hearing, not hear, and not hearing.
Oh, okay.
The voice is very fuzzy. Okay, so you need to up the volume.
Well, it's not a matter of upping the volume there. We got to make sure we got the settings correct. Say something again, Wayne.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Can we hear Wayne now?
Can you hear me now? Am I clear?
Oh, let me do this. Let me try. Maybe it is.
Oh my goodness.
Bear with us a moment here.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, here we go. Okay, try it now there. How about it, Wayne? How about Yaulanda?
Right. Come on, let's get this thing
Let's
going.
get this thing going. How about you, Yaulanda?
Okay, so you're the only one that was clear, muffled echo. Not so good yet for Wayne. So let's
Try it
give
now.
everyone a
I just
chance.
did the setting.
All right. Here we go.
Okay, can we all be heard now? Someone said, Carol said
Yaulanda, much
nothing.
better. Okay. How
there we
about
go.
Wayne?
What about me? Am I good?
And we are blurred, and Wayne is clear.
Wayne
I'm weaker?
is weaker. Oh my goodness. So this third one may not be working. Oh my God.
No one, Wayne.
Okay, so we may have to share the same mic because I tell you what, hang on one second. Let me make one adjustment.
Well, this is what happens when you go live. Is this technology or is this user? I won't say the other word. Is this a user situation? Which one is it? I just. But our camera is still doing the. I wish you'd take it off of that so that we're all clear.
Okay, can you hear me? Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. We may have to share mics.
Can Can you take the camera off where it's off of the setting for
Possible.
blurry in the back because we are blurry. Wayne is the only one that is in. So let's just make us all clear.
Hang on 1 second. We're going to make it right.
That's audio.
Yep.
Okay, and it is silent in the studio.
Silent in the studio.
That's not good. Play the music or something. My goodness. That was where you need to be. Where you were before.
Here?
No, it was 2, now 3. Didn't you see them? They were all down at the bottom. No, that's not it.
Okay. We're going to have to go with this. We may have to share mics because I'm not able to set this like it needs to be for some reason. And it is user error. Okay, we're going to have to go with it, sweetheart. All right, sorry about that, but that's what happens when sometimes you don't know what you're doing. So we'll have to share mic. So anyway, thank you for being patient with us, and thank you for joining in tonight for episode 15 of Truly Live. And Wayne, I'm gonna let you have the mic and just introduce yourself. Just open up and just introduce yourself.
Well, you know, I'm from heaven, dropped off in a piece of heaven called Belize, currently living in Houston, but hey, being hosted here now in North Carolina in Mebane. Beautiful neighborhood. Got a chance to see a bit of it tonight, but these folks are so full of love. Just the love is just so overflowing.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you, my brother, and we're going to move on with our episode tonight, and like to start out by first of all acknowledging our patrons, and thank you for being here, and also like to acknowledge was that Heidi Peck? Thank you, Heidi, and yes, Wayne has descended on North Carolina and is being hosted here in our house, or we're hosting him in our domain here for a few days, and he's visiting family for the holidays in the area, and we took advantage of him being so close, and it's been a wonderful, joyous time so far, and we look forward to what is to come. Yes. All right. And also like to acknowledge those that are celebrating birthdays or anniversary this week or during the month of November. Is there someone special that we were acknowledging this month? I know there's a lot of birthdays in the month of November.
Well, but we're only handling the people this week.
Yes.
Remember? Because if we do everyone in the month, let's see. So today is our children's godfather's birthday, Robert. We call him King. Happy birthday to him.
Oh, King's birthday today?
Yes.
All right.
Today is also my cousin's birthday, Jeff. Happy birthday to him.
Okay.
All right. And let's see.
Wayne said his brother's birthday is today.
And happy birthday to
Frank.
Happy birthday
Frank
to
Moody.
Frank
All right.
Moody. All right. Okay. And who else, Oliver?
Is that it?
That's all.
Okay.
That's
Well,
all.
happy birthday to those that are celebrating birthday this week in our anniversary. And are we singing happy birthday tonight?
Oh, of course we should sing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's see who else. Wait a minute. I think, let's see. Is Brenda? No. That's next week. All right. I'm good.
Okay. We're good. So we're singing?
Are we singing?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday.
birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right. Thank you, my brother. happy birthday and happy anniversary
Okay,
to those.
maybe we should have practiced. Oh,
Also,
wow.
like to acknowledge and send out comforting vibes to the entire University of Virginia family as they navigate through the tragic events of this past week. I'm sure if you watched any news, you're aware of what happened there. Such a tragic, but we sent out comfort and vibes to the entire university family, and we also send condolences to the families of those young men and women that was lost in that incident. And we ask you to join with us in that.
Yes.
Uh,
We're going to also say happy Founders Day to the men of Omega Psi Phi
all right.
fraternity, one of the Divine Nine. I have 2 Omega men in my family. So happy Founders Day to the Qs.
So that explains the purple tonight.
That's we're in purple. Okay.
All right. Also like to go without saying to acknowledge Yaulanda and our parents, Mama Blue, and I'm sure that she's on tonight. I spoke with her earlier, and also I'd like to acknowledge Yolanda's dad, who we call Papa. His real name is Dewey Lowe, and hello, Papa. Hello, Grandma Blue. We thank you so much for this unique expression, because without the two of you, this project kid and that farm girl over there, there would be no Truly Live.
Yes.
So thank you so much. We love you so much.
I'm going to have to put up a couple of the comments because Wayne has, so Wayne is on. Heidi says sending love. She also says hi, and PJ Rouse says that hair is beautiful, which we had a conversation about that.
That's a great friend of mine. Means a lot to me.
Yeah. Yes, loving all that lovely white, a sign of wisdom hair that frames Wayne's head and face. And PJ says he's a Belizean god. All right now. Okay, so Wayne has some folks on here tonight. So thank you all for joining us here at Truly Live. Welcome.
All right. All right. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next segment, which we always like to always like to use this time to give thanks and share gratitude for all of the good things, all of life, because it is through gratitude that we come to really reconnect with our true self. And it is gratitude that actually moves energy and puts us in a frame of mind and in a frame of vibration that that creates this moment that we are here together, and it allows so many good things to be in our presence. So tonight we're grateful for our friend who's here with us from Houston, and we're so happy that he's going to be visiting with some his
Oliver,
folks.
I'm going to ask you to look at the camera.
Yes.
And look at Wayne on the screen instead of turning your head.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's just get you.
That will keep us in focus,
So
right?
yes. It will help.
Yes, and so happy that
focus.
Wayne is getting to visit with family during this Thanksgiving season. So, so if you're happy and grateful for something that you like to share, we have the comments there. Just share with us in the comment field. Feel free to do that. Yaulanda, what are you happy and grateful for?
I am happy and grateful for family and great friends. I had the opportunity to spend some time with my line sisters this past weekend, and we had a wonderful time. So yeah, grateful for happy and grateful for family and friends.
All right. Wayne, you want to share?
I am happy and grateful for a home that I have in Houston. I'm happy and grateful for a roof over my head. Happy and grateful for people that love me.
Yes.
I'm happy and grateful to serve. As a life coach, I get a chance to sit in the orchestra section of people's lives as they create their dreams. And I'm happy and grateful for travel. I'm happy and grateful for rest,
Yes.
of which I'm going to get some more tonight. But I'm happy and grateful for this place and this space.
Outstanding. So our dear friends from Indiana and our special patrons, um, Carol and Bob said gratitude for the blessed holiday season. We agree. Look in the mail. I've got something coming your way. Dr. Jill. Hi, Dr. Jill. Thank
Hello,
you for
Dr.
joining us.
Jill.
She said healing for her niece. Yes, we stand in agreement with you there. All right. Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Tonight, we're just going to have a little round table talk here.
Before we go any
And
further,
before we go there,
let's go ahead and share this one too. Thank you so much for sharing this. Heidi says, happy and grateful for my mighty companions all over the globe and for the words of Jesus as given us in many forms, especially ACIM.
ACIM. All right.
Yes. And let's see, Dr. Jill says she's happy and grateful that she will be healed. Yes, your niece. We agree with you, Dr. Jill. Absolutely. All right. Thank you for allowing me to share those. Thank you guys for sharing your comments.
Thank you for sharing. And tonight we're just going to have somewhat of a conversation. It's that time of the year again, believe it or not. It seemed like we were just sitting here last year talking about Thanksgiving and talking about, the Christmas and the New Year's, and it's right back upon us already. And it just like, where did the time go? And so what we do want to share and feature tonight as we start our conversation, we want to feature a book tonight by one of our favorite authors. And I think it's a very timely book given the fact that we are entering into the holiday seasons, and we all know what happens during the holiday season. It can be a very joyous time for some, and then it can be a very challenging time for others. And so I thought it very fitting for us to feature this book on tonight's episode. And this book comes from one of our favorite authors, whose name is Rupert Spira. And I can put it up on the screen here. Let me see if I can add that up to the screen. Give you a shot of that. Yes. The name of this book is You Are the Happiness That You Seek. Uncovering the awareness of being. You are the happiness that you seek. And this is a great read, especially if you are challenged in the area of having some challenges where your view of yourself is you're not quite comfortable with that. You're not quite staying in a place of happiness. And this book really is very, very good to help one come to an awareness that happiness is not something that is outside of us, but happiness is who we really are. And there's two main messages in this book. One is that happiness is the very nature of the self or the being that we are.
Okay.
And then secondly, our being is shared with everyone and with everything. And so want to feature that book tonight. You can get it on Amazon. And as we move to this time of the year, that is a thing that really comes up in people's lives, where even in a time of holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and on New Year's, there's some people that struggles with their self-worth, their self-image, their self-esteem. And so that is a good read. So Wayne,
You're gonna watch him in the camera. Remember, you're gonna look at him on the camera.
so Wayne, now
There you go.
Wayne's been on our show before, and we introduced him as being a life coach. That is his profession, and Wayne works with people, individuals as well as group, as far as helping them build dreams, and teach them transformational principles or a particular transformational system that help people to have a plan for their life and move forward towards achieving those plans or their goals in their life. So Wayne, why don't you just share with us your perspective on working with your clients and the subject that we're talking about tonight, happiness.
Well, thanks again. I'm ever grateful for the hospitality of you guys. And, reference to transformation, I want to say transformation actually is the awareness of where I'm at, envisioning where I'd love to be, and taking the steps that I can right where I'm at, believing that it is possible. And reference to happiness, I say happiness begins with me, because if I'm looking outside to be happy, it's not going to be found. And I say I have to choose. I make the choice to think and embrace the happiness that I know I am and have. And I say if there's anything or person that comes in my space that seek to affect that equilibrium, I have two choices. Either I get out of the space or I get that thing or person out of my space, but I will be happy.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Okay, so there's a quote that we were looking at today that says that 98, and the quote came from Napoleon Hill, and the quote says that 98% of the people in the world are drifting through life with no plan or no purpose. This is the major cause of unhappiness, because it says that without a plan, without a purpose. In fact, there's a scripture that says without a vision, that what is it? It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the truth or know the truth, happy is he. And that is found in Proverbs 29:18. And so it really affirmed the fact that the happiness that we all seek is a part of our very own nature. It's like Wayne said, it is not outside of us. It's not in the things that we possess. It's not in the relationships or in the that we can be involved with. But when we really come to understand the nature of happiness, is that it is in our very own nature. It is who we are. It is what we were created to be. And so we don't get engaged in activities. When we get engaged in activities or events or in relationships, trying to find happiness within those things, that's where we fall short. That's where we're disappointed. But when we understand that happiness is a part of our essential nature, then we take that happiness to the events, the activities, and the relationships. And then we're able to sustain it because we understand that it is coming from us. It's not something that is out there to be pursued. So give me some feedback on that.
Well, someone said happiness depends on happenings, right? But if you read the amplified version for Psalm 1, it says, blessed, happy is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. The word for blessed is translated in the amplified version as happy. So truly, happiness begins when I'm walking in truth. And the truth that I need to walk in is the truth that is the God in me, the God that I'm one with, because that's where happiness begins. Because truly, the love of God that is actually a part of who I am, that I actually share, is what truly brings happiness. So happiness begins with the source, and the source is God. Everything comes from God. Happiness comes from God, and my awareness of who God is in my life, oh, that brings me joy. That makes me happy. And situation and circumstances which are real, but they're ever fleeting, but who God is remains the same, and therefore I can be constant in a state of happiness. It doesn't mean that I will always have a smile on my face, but it means that I'll have a peace that surpasses all understanding, that is going to be keeping my heart and my mind and keep me established.
All right, thank you. So Wayne, when you work with your clients, and you was busy today on Zoom. That's one good thing about your job, that you're able to travel and you're able to serve your clients even as you're traveling. But when you work with your clients, what do you find to be like the recurring themes in terms of where people are stuck? What would you say that would be?
Well, we talk about paradigms, and paradigms are belief system that we have, which actually result in our experiences that we have in life. Because if I believe that I'm not worthy, then I'm going to have the feelings that go with that belief system, and then I'm going to act the way that shows that I'm not really valuable. So dealing with the paradigms, whatever they are, because the paradigms are going to be as unique as the person that I'm actually working with. Because our mentor Mary Morris says that research has shown that a child from birth to 18 months, like 2 years, that child comes in a state where they're truly operating in the capacity that they have, and that is ingenious. But as we grow, that child is sent to school, and then the program is started. They go to school, and that's where they're programmed to be in a box. And you go through school in the box. You're told to get a degree, get a job, and be in the box. And you get a job, and you're in the box in the cubicle, and then you buy a house in the box, and then you drive the vehicle in the box, and then you buy a house and you live in the box, and then you die and they put you in the box. But honestly, for us to truly live or purpose, we got to think outside the box. And as I work with different clients, it's about truly seeing transformation that comes by the renewing of the mind. And the scriptures, again, which is the source of life, says that beseech, the scripture, Paul says in Romans 12, I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, that he present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, and be not conformed to this world, which is fleeting, because the world passing away, the world is an illusion. But he says, be transformed by the renewing of the mind. And I remember when I had to do the personal work with my mentor, where I had to go into the system and delete the mindsets and the thinking that were not expansive, and then had the right downloads, and then do the total antivirus of the whole system. And then I became an upgrade. And like the iPhone, I have to continue being upgraded, because the things that have been programmed in my mind that are not expansive has to be taken out. Then it's like having the phone with all these apps on it. And these apps are just causing the system to be slow. And what you got to do is delete, refresh, in order that you can truly be at your optimum capacity. So as far as working with my clients, it's about dealing with paradigms, dealing with the belief systems that they have. And again, what we believe determines how we behave. Our belief is seen in how we live and how we speak and how we act. And when we catch ourselves, because think about it, we're beings that can pull back from ourselves and say, what am I thinking?
Yes.
What was I thinking?
Yes.
But the thoughts that I want to think, the thoughts that I'm going to be thinking are God's thoughts. Because what others think about me is important. What I think about myself is also important. But what is most important is what God thinks about me. And what does God say? He says, I'm amazing. I am a son. I am a son of the Most High God. And that means I have divine DNA. And that means I'm the chip, more than just a chip off the block. I'm actually like my father.
Yeah. So you said you have divine DNA, and that divine DNA is perfect, and it needs no modification at all in our true self. And here on our platform, which our mantra is truly the real you loves you, where we focus on helping people to turn within and really to come to discover their true identity, or what we call their true self, their infinite self, their divine self. And we just spent the last 6 weeks in a series on mindfulness. We just finished it. We just finished it 2 weeks ago and spent a tremendous amount of time where we got into discussion where the focus has to be on the, like you say, on the renewing of our mind. And we all came out of that understanding that it is our responsibility for the conditions of our mind. Mm-hmm. And it takes work. It takes inner work in our life in order to bring the mind or transform the mind or renew the mind. And that's done, we said, through repetition, and we said it's done through elite coaching. But it's our responsibility.
Yes.
And so definitely agree with you on that.
So the inner work is not just inner work, it is intentional.
It's
work.
That's right.
It is intentional work.
Right.
Here's something I want to say at this point. There are things that God has called us and say to us to do. And what God says is you be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I don't need to ask God to renew my mind if God says you renew your mind. Mm-hmm. Because God says renew your mind. So I don't need to ask God to do something that God has given me the command to do, because whatever God has commanded me to do, I have the capacity to do it. So I'm responsible for renewing my mind. I'm responsible to managing my thoughts. And like Emerson says, guard the portals of your mind. And that means my eye gates, I have to guard what I watch. My ear gates, I got to watch what I listen to.
Yes.
I got to guard the space that I'm in, because if I'm in the space of people that are with negative energy and negative words and negative belief systems, it's like coronavirus. You're going to end up on life support.
Yeah.
So I need to be responsible, and I am responsible. We are all responsible. A lot of time people might say, man, I just can't help myself. I'm just thinking all this crazy stuff. No. The mind that we have is the thing that is as amazing as who God is. And that's why the scripture says, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and all thy mind. It is with thy mind we serve him. And as we see the transformation of the mind, we will then come into the awareness of what is that good, pleasing, and perfect will of God.
All right. Well, Yaulanda and I can really attest to that from our 32 years of living together as marriage partners, business partners, roommates, and it hasn't always been the happiest times in our life, because we were at the time that we started this journey together, we just knew we wanted to do life together. But what we didn't understand is that a lot of things that we thought was to be true, or a lot of the paradigms that we brought to our relationship, that we had to be willing to chunk it. A lot of things that we knew that we thought that was correct, it wasn't correct. And so we got to the point that
not for the vision that we had.
Not for the vision that we had for our life.
It was not correct. It was not beneficial for the vision that we had
for the vision that we had for our life.
Yes.
And so we got to the point that we were willing to give up any and everything. We decided. We made a quality decision that we wanted to, we had a plan, we had a vision, and we was driven by that plan and that vision. And so we quickly found out that some things could not go with us into our new life. It couldn't go with the new journey. So we had to be willing to let it go. And that's what transformation, that's just part of transformation. Most of the greater part of transformation is the undoing, or the letting go of that which that does not serve us. And baby, you can remember the time where we got in our life where we said that to each other, that I realized that I'm not responsible. You said that I wasn't responsible for your happiness.
I said, I am releasing you, because I understand now that my happiness is my responsibility and mine alone. So I release you from the burden
Yes.
of me placing my responsibility on you.
Yes.
That's deep.
And likewise, I made the same declaration. It was almost like a declaration of our own independence, but it was also a declaration of our interdependence on one another. But understanding that um, when we understood that our happiness was our responsibility, we also understood that our happiness was already in our possession. It was already a part of who we were. It was a part of our nature.
Yes.
And so we, at that point, realized that we could stop being frustrated by trying to get people to do, someone else to do what you want them to do in order to be happy.
Yes.
It never works that way.
Never.
Or it's never sustained. It may happen and you may have the experience for a short period of time, but over a protracted period of time, um, it does not register, because no one can give you what you already have. You
That's right.
already are happy. You already are joyful. You already are peace. It came with us when we were created by our Creator.
Yes.
It's a part of our nature. And see, that's where the renewing,
it's part of that divine DNA
the
that Wayne talked about.
that is perfect.
Yeah.
That's right. But what we,
And boy, wasn't that a release?
Boy,
wasn't
that was a
that a
release.
tremendous release?
it was a
because
tremendous release.
you know, I came to not just the awareness, but to the acceptance
Yes.
that this is who I am. And so if this is who I am, no one else is responsible for that. So that was my happiness. And then I realized that joy is who I am. I kept hearing that love was who, love is who I am. Hadn't quite reconciled with that just yet, but was willing to stay open to receive
Right.
that. So yeah, that was a big turning point.
Right.
A lot of struggles stopped
Absolutely.
right there.
Immediately. But that came through renewing the mind. That's part of the being not conformed to this world, but being transformed by the renewing of the mind. And the renewal of the mind comes when we accept the truth that is true always.
Yes.
And what the world teaches is that you get stuff and you're going to be happy. And if it's stuff that's going to get you happy, then it means you need more stuff.
Yes.
And if it's stuff you're going to be looking for happiness, that's you're going to be happy. Always be going after stuff. But you realize that, stuff is great, and I enjoy stuff because stuff is to be enjoyed. But then it's not the source. It's not the basis
That's
of me
right.
being happy.
That's right. It's not the source. It's just stuff.
Yep. And what we found is that the value, when we value those things that are temporary, and everything that is in form is temporary. If you look around,
and that means it's subject to change.
It's subject to change.
So we're gonna do the definition of temporary. It's just that it is subject to change.
It's subject to change, to take on another form. And so,
and that will be with or without your input.
Absolutely. And so that's why we vacillate back and forth when we place value in form, or we place value in things when we expect a certain thing or a certain vibration or a certain response from it, and we don't get it because it's changed. Then we're disappointed. And so the value is in us. Yes. We are the source of all value. We're the one that place value on things. And one thing is for sure, that eventually this body form that we're in, it does have an expiration date. And the things that we get attached to in our life, those things remain here when we lay down this physical body. And so the earlier we learn to renew our mind to the reality of our true self, just like Rupert said in his book, when we come to discover that when we come to discover that happiness is the very nature of our self or the nature of our being, that we don't have to look anywhere for it. We don't have to look anywhere for happiness or joy or peace. When we come to know our true self, that is when we find that which is permanent. And his second point is that our being is shared with everyone and everything. And once you discover that you are the possessor of the thing, then we share that with each other. So like in Yaulanda and our relationship, we just have fun sharing the fact that we are already complete. We are already whole.
Yes.
We already have our joy and our happiness. I don't have
Yes.
to depend on her for it. She don't have to depend on me for it. We possess it. So we just have fun sharing that happiness with each other. Likewise, in any level of relationship, in friendships, Wayne and Yaulanda and I have become really close friends. And we became close friends through our coaching, right, endeavors. And Wayne having gone and continued going through, and now not only going through himself, but coaching others how to transform their life, how to transform their mind. And so we now share a friendship with each other that is absolutely what? Unlimited. So when we get together, it is always a time where we just share with each other what is going on in our life from a place of happiness. You know, Wayne doesn't come here, or we don't have conversation because he's looking for happiness in Oliver or Yaulanda, but we come together and we share that happiness with each other.
Yes. And you know, one of the things that is so clear in my mind is differentiating between what I feel and who I am.
Yes.
Because I have the feelings that I have, and the feelings are only indicators of what is happening. But who I am remains constant. And therefore, I might feel frustrated, but I'm amazing. I might feel tired, but I'm strong. And the feelings that we have, which comes connected to the thoughts that we're thinking, you have to differentiate it. And you see, the thoughts that we have are energy. And that energy, if it's not really validated, that energy, if it's not being dissipated, gets in wrong places in our bodies, cause us to have sicknesses and diseases. And therefore, this is why I need to have the right thinking. And today, one of the buzz today is mental health. And just like I take care of myself as far as my physical health, I eat the right things, I exercise, I rest. Also, I must take care of my mental health. What am I eating? What am I consuming as far as from my mind? What am I partaking of that is actually expanding my mind? Because if I'm not healthy mentally, that's when you're going to find I'm going to get a gun. I'm going to go to a school and I'm going to do some crazy stuff because mentally I'm not healthy. And it's something that is not as practical as your physical health, because you can go to the doctor and they can take your vitals, they can run some tests with your blood and say, okay, this is what you're dealing with. But when it comes to mental health, it's deeper. It goes beyond the physical realm. But it starts with the thinking. It starts with the thinking, because if I'm thinking expansive thoughts, if I'm thinking positive thoughts, if I'm thinking healthy thoughts, then I'm going to be healthy. So it goes back again, being transformed by the renewing of the mind. And as the focus tonight is happiness, if I'm going to be happy, it's coming to that realization of who I really am.
Yes.
And who I am, and I am the way I am because this is who God created. I am as God created me. And the humanity is the part that is being transformed as far as the shifting of the mindset in my humanity. But who I am spiritually, I am as God created me.
And we remain as we are created.
Even
Yes.
before my mom and dad conceived me.
Yes. Yes.
He said, I knew you.
Yes.
So I had an existence before I was born. January 3rd, that's the day I was born on the earth, as far as my ushering in this world. But I was conceived in the mind of God. And think about it. One of the fundamental principles of us as dream builder life coaches is everything is first a thought before it becomes a thing.
Mhm.
And my friend, life coach John Ebron said, he said, when God wanted to show himself, he said, let me make Oliver. Let me make Yaulanda. Let me make Wayne, because I am an expression of who God is. And each and every one of us,
Yes.
unique as we are, is an expression. And we are not all of who God is, but yet we're a part of that whole.
Yes.
That's right.
Part of that one. Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. And we've had some really good conversation over the last day that we've been together. And you talk a lot about your country, Belize, which is in Central America, correct? And you share uh, about your upbringing and how you, at an early age, became aware that there was a purpose and a plan for your life, and that you've been what's the term you use? You've been a world changer,
A world changer.
a world changer since you was what, 18 years old.
18 years
You want to
old.
share a little bit with about your history with the
So there's a comment that I'm going to put up that I think it was absolutely phenomenal here. Heidi says, holy relationship, whole, lacking nothing in and of itself. Two or more wholes coming together in joined purpose. Yes, yes, we love that. Thank you, Heidi.
So at 18 years old, I was this young, energetic, and I honestly, in junior college, I had one of my friends, and she would call me worthless Wayne because I was just so out of order. And here I go home over an Easter break, and a good friend of mine, Gordon Solomon, he took me to a meeting, and the speaker was speaking on the topic "Up and Change Your World." And the message was simple, and it's a message that I can say today as well. The world is in a dilemma, and the world needs to be changed. But the only way the world can change is if people change.
Yes.
And the only way people can change is if they're connected to the one who made them, the creator. And I was challenged. The question was asked, do you want to be a world changer? And I said, I'm in. My embracing who God is was not running from hell. Hell was not even in my mind. I mean, even today, that's not even in my mind. The reality is that I wanted to be used by God to be a transformer. And that is the message that I bring, because again, the scripture tells us as clear as you can ask that God was in Christ reconciling the world unto himself. I am now an ambassador of reconciliation. I'm declaring to the world that God is saying, no, I have reconciled you unto myself. Be reconciled to God, because, and it is the love of God. You know, love is the thing that causes us to just melt. When you really experience love, you just, love truly conquers all.
Mhm.
So it's been over 42 years. I've been on this trajectory to become a world changer, and I continue to change the world, because wherever I go, it's about kingdom. I say the kingdom of God has come in my life. The will of God has come in my life. The kingdom of God is coming and is being manifested in my life. And therefore, wherever I go, God shows up. When I step in a room, God shows up, because I am connected. I am one with my creator.
All right. And just also like to acknowledge Diane. Did we acknowledge Diane?
I actually spoke to her in the comments because we were kind of
Okay.
deep into the stuff. But
Yes.
yes, another patron had jumped on. That was Diane.
Yeah, I'd like to acknowledge Diane being in with us tonight. She's one of our patrons. Also, want to acknowledge Felicia Bone. We see you out there watching in. Also, Natalie Miller, one of my classmates. She's a Ram. And thank you, Natalie, for tuning in tonight. And we almost have come to the top of the hour. Wow. Did you want to share something there?
Michael Bullard as well.
Michael Bullard also. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're here every Thursday night from 7 to 8. This is a live show, so we sometimes things don't always go the way we plan, and so that's what happens when you're when you're in live broadcast or live streaming. And so we're not embarrassed about it, but we're just here for you to share transformation
We're here staying on our growing edge.
On our growing edge, here sharing transformation and a whole lot of love. And
Oh wow!
when
So
this,
the pastors have jumped on too.
okay,
So thank you, Pastor Sawyer, Clifton, and Tony.
thank you
Thank you
for being
guys for
here with us
joining.
tonight. And we want to thank you, my brother, for
Yes.
agreeing to come and spend some time with us. We want to thank you for your sharing here tonight, and also like to thank you for the courage that you have to do the work that you're doing. We're in a time, and we've always been in a time where humanity is in a tremendous amount of struggle. We see the things that are happening. And one of the motivations that Yaulanda and I have is that we think that suffering is needless. And there's a lot of people that on a daily basis um, don't see the reality of who they are and the opportunities that they have been that are there for them. And so all of us at some point needed some guidance and some mentoring
Some
and some
encouragement.
encouragement. And so the three of us have dedicated our lives, uh, to play that and to uphold, to play that role as coaches and mentors and teachers of transformation to help people come into really an awareness and a knowledge of themselves.
Yes.
Because we truly believe that it is the knowing of the self that we're seeking for. It is to know, it is, we want to know ourselves. People say, well, I want to find God. Well, when you find God, what you're going to find is yourself. Or if you happen to find yourself first, you're going to find God there too, because you and God are one. There is no separation. And so, thank you. And we look forward to the rest of the time we're going to be here together. Wayne has a summit that is coming up. The Monday after the Monday after Thanksgiving, he has a summit with his community. His community is called. Tell us about Sankofa.
So I became certified and a life coach in 2019, and as I stepped into 2020, that was when I really started practicing. And at the end of 2020, the Monday after Thanksgiving that year, I did my first summit, which was virtual. And I declared then that every Monday after Thanksgiving is going to be the summit for the Sankofa Mastermind. And Sankofa Mastermind is a private Facebook group for all my clients and coaches. I have invited some of my friends that are coaches to be a part of that community. And honestly, the Mastermind is a group where we support each other, and we're all connected to infinite intelligence. We're all providing collective knowledge. We're all providing being believing partners. So the Sankofa Mastermind Summit for 2022 is going to be streamed live from the studio here in Mebane. So I'll be here Monday with the crew here, and it's going to be done twice. Actually, it's going to be noon Eastern time, and it's going to be done again noon Pacific time, because I have clients that scope from the east to the west. And I have a client in Africa who's actually he's excited about it. And it's going to be a great time to share about where we are and where we're heading, and get a chance to even hear some testimonies of the transformational work, because the proof of the pudding is actually seeing this thing happening. And I remember I was in LA a few weeks ago, and I had a chance to visit one of my clients, and he's retired. He's a veteran. And when we started working in 2020, one of the dreams that he had was to own his own home. And he went from almost homeless to, when I visited Palmdale in last month, I walked into his home.
Oh, wow.
And I interviewed him, and he was talking about dream building and how now he has his own home, and he has believed and he has done what it takes to see it happen. Because honestly, dream building is not wishful thinking.
No.
Wishful thinking are people who, I wish I can have a nice body, but they're not eating right. They're not exercising. They're not resting. If you actually have a dream and you're truly a dream builder, it's going to go through the process, because like Joseph, great dream builder, he knew what it was, but he had to go from the pit to the prison to the palace. He had to go through the process. And a lot of time we want to eliminate the process and just have the outcome. But for anyone that has actually become, it had to be a process. And this is what we're doing. We're continuing to evolve. We're continuing to grow. Like the Apostle Paul says, I put off daily. Daily, I'm being transformed. Daily, I'm becoming more and more. And it is not going to be until the ultimate that I will truly be seen as I am fully. And that's going to be at the end of this journey called life. And I'm going to hear the word, well done.
All right. So,
Well,
Go
so our Virginia, thank you so much. We see that you were on.
Thank you, Virginia.
And Virginia says, thank you for your faithfulness. She loves us all. We love you too.
Thank you, Virginia.
That's one of our Canadian
patrons
yes. and friends. So Oliver. Oh, okay. Well, let's put Heidi's up. Heidi says, thank you. Grateful for your extensions of love and your generosity and spending your time with those who have ears to hear. Love to you, to all of you.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, now, Heidi, I think Heidi, would you put in the chat where you reside? I think Heidi, it comes to us from the Pacific Northwest. If my memory served me, Heidi is a follower of Truly Live and also a daily follower of Truly Foundation, which is our nonprofit organization where we share advanced spirituality. So Heidi, can you put in the comments what city and state that you reside in?
Well,
Salt Lake City, Utah. That's what I thought. That is west. That's right next to California.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. And so, yes, on Monday, November the 28th, Wayne will be hosting his fall summit. And he said that I can invite my community to come and share. It's going to be done virtually at 12 noon Eastern and 12 noon Pacific. We're going to have 2 sessions, and it's going to be done right here from our studio. Wayne and our one of our featured guest speakers will be yours truly. Oliver Blue. I will be sharing in his summit this year. And also I shared in your summit in the earlier part of the year. So if you're a patron, I will be sending you the invitation and the link to that. If you are not a patron, I will be posting it on our, we need to post that.
You'll send out an email.
I'll send out an email.
And we'll post it on the YouTube channel.
We'll post it on the YouTube channel. And yes, and if you're on the mailing list, we'll send it out to everyone on our mailing list. So if you get our weekly notices about these episodes, we'll send you the invitation with the link.
All right. So we are so incredibly happy and grateful that you decided to spend this time with us as we're all expanding our awareness and expanding our staying on our growing edge.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate you all. We like to end each of our broadcasts with a blessing, and we use the Dalai Lama's loving kindness meditation.
Yes. So may you be truly happy.
May you live in peace.
May you live in love.
May you know the power of forgiveness.
May you live in the recognition that your life has deep meaning and good purpose. That's the Dalai Lama. And Oliver and I add, may you live in the awareness of who you truly are. We extend this blessing to every being on the planet. And so it is.
And so it is.
All right. So in celebration for Wayne being here, we have cake.
What? We have cake? All right. What a surprise. We was wondering where the car had left to go to. Do we really have cake? Oh my God. We have real cake. My favorite too.
I'll take this.
This is what? Our 9-layered.
This is our 9-layer.
Our 9-layer chocolate cake. Oh my God. So just imagining, if you don't have cake where you are, just imagine having cake there before you. Use your imagination. And hello, Brenda.
Hello, Brenda. She says yummy.
Brenda says yummy. And Brenda is one of our patrons from the province of Ontario, Canada. She's one of our northern friends. Hello, Brenda.
It's our 9 layers. 9 layers.
Yes.
All right. So, all right, Oliver. So we have to let them go.
We got to let you go. Oh. She say, fax her a piece. Oh, my goodness.
We'll do better than that. We'll bring you some.
We'll bring you some. Well, with that said, my name is Oliver, and this is
Wayne Moody.
I'm Yaulanda.
And together, we are
The
OK Blues and Wayne. Bye-bye.
I know I have not always been what you want me to be. Even at times I pushed your sweet love away, but you stay right here beside me, never letting me go. Now I know the love I needed was right here all along. I know that love is enough to forgive all the hurt and pain. Love is enough to remove all the guilt and shame. Love is enough to make up for what I made. I know that love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough.